Hey, what's up? How you doing? My name is
how's it going?
Devon. I'm a local
Mitch.
artist.
Nice
I
to
love
meet
your
you.
look. I
Thank
would
you.
love to paint your portrait if you have time today.
Yeah, sure. I'm the owner of Economy Candy. Why don't you come in?
Oh, wow. That's legendary. Let's do it. So what's your name and what's one of your biggest dreams in life?
I'm Mitchell Cohen, and I'm the third generation owner of Economy Candy. And I'm living my dream, running a candy store in Manhattan's Lower East Side. We've been around since 1937. My grandparents ran the store, my parents ran the store, now my wife and I do. So we've been here for almost 90 years.
90 years. Wow, that's amazing. How did Economy Candy get started?
So we've always been on the Lower East Side on Rivington Street. We used to be on the corner of Essex and Rivington, and we were a shoe and hat repair shop that just had a little push cart outside that had some candy. In the 30s, people didn't have the money. It was the Great Depression. They couldn't repair things. They didn't have that kind of cash, but a little candy made you happy. So they pivoted from just a push cart to being full candy store, Economy Candy. When my grandfather, Moish, came back from World War II, he and his brother-in-law joined the business. It was a real family business. Everyone worked there. Every uncle, cousin, aunt, everyone had a job at Economy Candy. By the 60s and 70s, it was just my grandparents, Moish and Joan, and my dad would work after school, and his sisters would come in as well. And in the 80s, my parents, Jerry and Eileen, took over, ran it for over 30 years. And then about 13 years ago, I joined, and then my wife, Sky, joined. So, it's a real, true family business, and we've, been serving the Lower East Side all this time.
Wow, that's amazing. What's the oldest candy that you still sell today?
So believe it or not, the Hershey bar is one of the oldest candy bars, but then there's also the C. Howard Violet Mints that you might remember from your grandma's pocketbook.
Yeah.
We have over 2,500 varieties of candies, chocolates, fruits, nuts, chips from around the world. We really try to carry everything. And, if it's made in the United States, we carry it, and now we've really expanded a lot of international goods. We have about 30 different Kit Kats from around the world. It's all wild. There's things that are old, which are traditional, but all the new is a lot of fun too.
What's the most popular candy that people buy here?
Crazy enough, the most popular item varies every day because you can get someone who comes in and goes, I need all blue things for a wedding, or I need all pink things for a bat mitzvah, or I need, 1,000 chocolate bars to fill up a newsstand for a TV show. So it kind of changes all the time, but people come down for the chocolate-covered graham crackers, chocolate-covered pretzels, the Joyva jelly rings. They either come into the store or luckily they shop on our website, economycandy.com.
Do you remember your first day working here?
So what's crazy is I've been working here since I can remember. Some of my first memories are in the store. My dad would bring me in and I would be on a milk carton at the register doing change for customers when I was 4 years old. Even if there was a line down to the end, I was doing the mental math and really, putting me to work and really learning the ways of the family business. So I just remember always being here. Holidays were spent here because Christmas is a busy time for us. So we weren't going to Disney at Christmas. If we ever went, it was in the summer. We were here, I was working weekend. I spent a lot of time in the store and I grew up here.
How has the Lower East Side changed since the store first opened?
So Lower East Side has gone through many changes. In the 30s and 40s, this is where, people came off Ellis Island. All the immigrant families lived on the Lower East Side. There were tenements. This building we're in now was a tenement building. People would cram into 200 square foot apartments for families, and they live all over the Lower East Side. There were thousands and thousands, if not millions of different immigrants in the neighborhood. And they started stores there. We were one of 7 candy stores. We would pack all our product out onto the street. Everyone did their shopping on the Lower East Side, but those second generation, third generation, a lot of people had bigger dreams. They didn't want to take over the family business. They wanted to become doctors, lawyers, or just try something different. It was, the American way. And, my parents took over in the 80s, but we were one of the few businesses to make it to that next generation. And, I worked on Wall Street for about 7 years. I always knew I was going to come into the business. My parents were ready. I was ready to come in, and we're hopefully going to make it 100+ years and keep it going. But the Lower East Side, changed all the time. In the 80s, it wasn't so great being on the Lower East Side. It wasn't necessarily the safest place to be. We wanted to close up, get home. But around the turn of the century in 2000, the hotel on Rivington went up. A lot of other hotels went up. Bars and restaurants started opening up. With the internet, people were going on TripAdvisor and Yelp. What to do? Oh, go to Economy Candy, go to Katz's, go to the Lower East Side and really have a great time. And we got that influx of tourists, both American tourists and international tourists. So the Lower East Side now, people are coming down because there's the history there. So it was a lot of change over the last 100 years, but people want to come and experience that.
Do you have regulars that have been coming for decades?
We've got regular families that have been coming back to when they were shopping for my grandfather. They tell stories about how they used to come when they were a kid and now they're bringing their kids. And some go back 3 generations, they're bringing their grandkids. It's wonderful. It's great to hear how much they loved my grandparents and they love my parents and they want to keep coming back. And that's why people come to Economy Candy. We're not just a family-owned business. We're a family-owned and operated business. You're going to come in, you're going to see me, you're going to see my wife, you're going to see my parents. We're here.
What's the biggest candy order that you ever had?
I have to imagine it was for one of like a Food Network TV show where we had to just basically, it was set decor. So every jar, there were hundreds of pounds of gumballs in every jar, and we had to fill them and then refill them, and so you're always open for everything. People would knock on your door. Can you get us 10,000 pounds of X? Yes, I can. I will.
So what's one thing that tourists always say when they walk in?
Basically, when people walk in, you just see their jaw drop, and they're just like, whoa. And it's not just the kids, it's the parents too. So people are just amazed. You hear, I didn't think they still made this. How do you have this? They don't make it. It's like, they do make it. We just, we track everything down. If it's only made in the Midwest now, well, we've been buying from them since my grandfather. So they'll send us a case here and there. We make sure to have everything that's made. And a lot of the people who come in, they're just amazed that we exist. There's a lot of people who remember that they came here when they were kids, and they're just so happy that we're still here.
Yeah.
So it's great to hear those things.
Very nostalgic. What message do you think the world needs to hear right now?
I think the message the world needs to hear is stay sweet.
Yeah.
A little candy goes a long way. There's a lot of stuff happening everywhere. Every day is different. But when you walk into economy candy, you can forget about your problems. Walk the aisles, stock your basket, find things from your childhood, introduce your kids to new things, introduce yourself to new things. Put everything out for a minute, stock up on sweets, go home, put your favorite TV show on, and pig out.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, I think I'm done with this painting.
Amazing.
All right, Mitchell, thank you for sharing your life with me. This is my interpretation of your life.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. It's amazing.
So glad you like it.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Yes, so I got the legendary economy candy in the background, and yeah, thank you so much.
I
This was
appreciate
so fun.
it so much.
All right, I'm gonna
go
grab some Hershey's Kisses.
Yeah, go load up.
All right, have a great one. Keep smiling.